here we go. Time has come, sadly, to take the old 1600 diesel engine out. Brilliant engine, doesn't drop any oil. It's pretty tight for one of these, but we've got the 1.9 out the Seat. It's all stripped out, obviously you've seen in the last video. And it's time to modernise slightly to give us a bit more torque and horsepower. We've got a bit of wiring to do, but the engine's ready and we just got to do some swapsies, as you'll see in a forthcoming video. So we got her on the lift now. Just going to suss out which way to play. Obviously we've got to take the old one out. Like I said, she's a really good low mileage original 1600 diesel engine. Obviously we've got to support the gearbox before you take the engine out. You can see we had to repair a servo point and all that, but we're going all for the new stuff, so we'll be running the servo pump off of the new engine, and obviously air filter housings and everything we're going to swap over, because if you didn't know, the inlet manifold does not clear the chassis, so you have to do a lot of grinding. But we're going to go back to the original air box, and on the manifold on this engine I'll probably port it, because the ports are different shaped. And obviously we'll remove the alternator, won't be coming. We'll be using the new ribbed belt alternator and obviously the pump and everything off of the new engine. So brilliant. So we got her up in the air now. Just gonna have, like I said, we're planning out roughly what we're doing. We're writing a lot of it down, to be honest. So we're gonna keep in the exhaust system, which means swapping manifold, because if you didn't know, the 2Y engine or the 1Ys have different manifold joints, so they're slightly bigger. But the manifold itself will fit straight on pretty much, you know, new gaskets and whatnot. We're gonna, obviously the mounts all bolt up to the engine that we have out of that Seat. The sump we'll have to swap, obviously, because you can see the angle on it. And we'll be keeping the oil pump from the Seat engine, but using the pickup off of this engine, which we'll show you later. The bar for the engine, which is only for diesel obviously, will be taken off when we've got the engine out and having it blast, etched and powder coated. And we'll probably have new mounts as well at the same time. But yeah, and you can see the belt underneath again, which we'll get rid of all of that. We're gonna probably have to change some exhaust mountings, some little bits and pieces, but pretty much you don't spend a lot of money, you know, to do a conversion from diesel to diesel. You know, the bow housing all matches up. We'll probably have to swap the tin cover. We'll show you in a later video. But yeah, so you can get most of the parts. Actually, they're actually hinted towards doing this conversion on Brickworks, which is a brilliant shop to get your bits and pieces. So needle bearings, but I'll show you when we've got the engine out, and we'll do the swaps. So we got the motor out, an hour and a half's work, but just so we can check the wiring and make sure we don't damage anything we really want to need. So we don't want to rush these things. So the bar looks not in bad condition. The mounts look all good. That, like I said, they'll be powder coated. Strap the gearbox up, because they have no mountings, you know, and you don't want them dangling down and causing problems with the CV joints, or, you know, the linkage as well can take a real pounding if you just let them drop. So we tend to put a jack on the box and hold it up, then strap it, then pull the engine out. So yeah, we got her out. It's looking good. So now it's on to the fun stuff, a bit of cleaning to do and swapping. We're going to pressure wash, obviously, all the engine bay. You can see it's a really original single cab from Germany. So it's still, you know, practically in blue on the chassis and everything. So we're going to clean all that and then clean the transmission. And we'll work on to swapping some bits and pieces and a bit of wiring. Obviously the old wiring on here, I'm going to try and use that, but wire it into the original from the Seat here, which I've disconnected, and we're going to solder these in wire connections. So then hopefully, you know, when we do that, we can just unclip and just plug it in. So we're modernising again.